What do you, when you say I can apply things from improv into real life, apart from the rapport element and your ability to form connections, what else have you found? Like, does it mean like you're more relaxed, are you more chill? Can you just kind of go with the flow? Like, give me some of that. What, how does
I'd
it help?
assume it'd give you like confidence in like a new atmosphere, like all the time, because you're like, I could just go in. Essentially, it kind of is improv, isn't it? When you're walking into something you don't know what to expect, you're just going into it. You're like, oh, okay. I guess every time that we have a new conversation with someone, it's a relatively, I guess it comes under the category improv, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And I think this is a thing where we don't realize that we're doing these things day in, day
Anyway.
out, like chatting away. But as soon as someone's, and it is difficult though. As soon as someone said, okay, do that on stage, doing a fake scenario,
Yeah, you
it's a,
freeze.
we do. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine when I first started doing this ages ago, before I set
Yeah.
the group up, it was the same as well. Because it just wasn't something we do. And I think as well, like another thing, even that as well, like we don't realize that that's everyone has their ups and downs in terms of when they're feeling they want to connect with people, or when they're feeling that they're on something or off something. And it's just sometimes just about just acknowledging when you are doing that, realizing okay what's happening, and just like just um just getting it back into tune with that. But in terms of other things that I can take from real life, to be honest with you, most of it does come down to actually like listening to what someone's saying. It is down to the rapport. And you're right, Indy, as well. You're saying that you do go into a situation, you do feel that confidence. Don't get me wrong, man. You gotta prepare as well.
Yeah.
For example, when I go into interviews, like I prepare like crazy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Have you never just gone to an interview and thought, let me just improv it?
I'm thinking when you're speaking, I'm thinking like Sonny is Leonardo DiCaprio and Catch Me If You Can. He just turns up here. He's like, right, I'm a pilot today. I'm a doctor today.
Yeah.
I'm the CEO today. I'm the prime minister today. He just turns
That's
up.
it.
So it's this thing where like you got to prep, and then the idea is, I mean, I like to call it you basically free fall, where you've prepped everything and then you just basically just jump, and then
Right.
when you're free falling and
Oh,
you prep
oh.
but and you're free falling, you kind of like it's so much of a better, like,
Is that
I want
why
to say
it's in
decline.
the name, Jump Prov?
Well, exactly, yeah, because the name behind that was, the idea was that
Yeah.
is a mix between the word jump and the word improv. So you
Yeah.
just jump in for it, you just go for it. Like, you
Mm.
don't, and a lot of that I apply for myself, so in terms of my um long life mantra as well. If I see an opportunity in terms of it, if it's a job, it's like a non-acting job like NHS work that I do as well.
Mm.
I say, I just go for it, apply, because they can only say no. That's the worst thing they can do.
Yeah.
And I always say to, like, a lot of the other things that I do as well,
Mm.
it's always trying to help people to take it from whatever job that they're in, if they're looking for work,
Mm.
to help them with applications, or mentor them, or like do mock interviews with them as well, because it's hard out there, like especially now, I know, in terms of like high cost of living.
Mm.
Just because I got a lot of people who I see that like really hard working, and you think to yourself,
Mm.
what, they probably not had that experience of just talking about themselves. A lot of people don't. Um,
It's really odd. Like someone asks you, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are your best qualities?
so you're right. Interviews are such a weird, artificial setting, and you're right.
Mm.
Where else do we get that chance to talk about ourselves? But I think, what we find as well is in doing the acting work as well, that you just get, if you can't sell yourself, man, like who else is in it? That's what I kind of realized in my life as well.
Mm.
So, and I know like a lot of people are listening to this thinking these are like cliched mantras, but they're so true. Like there's a reason why they've been around for a while.
Wolf of Wall Street, man.
Let's not get into
It's
that.
Sonny's there like this. I'm
But
not
no,
leaving.
but to be honest, even when I was setting this up as well, John
Mm.
Prop as well, like a lot of people hadn't heard the idea. A lot of people didn't know why is this important. So
So what's the answer to that? When people ask, why is this important? What do you say to them?
so absolutely. So jump prob's important because it helps to basically us helps us guys bring stories to an audience
Mm.
that don't get to see themselves usually on stage, don't get to usually hear stories, and also hear the stories that are completely different, and they're not told in from a stereotypical point of view,
Right.
and they're not they're featuring joyous moments as well. So it's always comical.
The lens of comedy, I think is what it is. Because
Exactly.
I mean, there's things you bring up. There obviously is a serious element to them as well, right? Like racism. Let's take racism for example, right? Like probably not affected us much, but when our families came over, they probably subject to that kind of thing. But when you guys put like a bit of a slant on it, a bit of comedy on it, say like Sukojala, when we went to see her live, and she was like, "Oh, there's one Gora in the room," and she's like, "Now you know how we feel." It's funny, like everyone just laughs on it, but it's a serious issue. But you've made it funny, and people can start relating to it.
Yeah.
And based on your show, like the stuff you were bringing up, like I remember you did a skit and you mentioned like Sohrod, like straight away, man, I was there, man. I think it was your bit. I think you were doing the TV channel, you're doing Sohrod, and I was like, my God, this is so relatable. And there's a lot of Gore in the show as well, and they must have been like, oh, is that what Sohrod? They've seen Sohrod, but they probably don't know what
But they don't
like.
understand the connotation and the culture.
Be brown in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then somebody's adding that kind of comedy to it, and they're just like, yeah, that's it. So you're right. It's complex things that you're taking, but then you're just putting a slant on it.
And another thing as well is that when I started my acting career as well, what I found was that a lot of times that they ever wanted to feature black and brown people on stage was around like very heavy, serious topics, and it wasn't just something like
Okay.
it was either like just really heavy, serious topics. And I thought we just want a place where we can just go and just clown around, say some stupid shit, have a laugh, and just enjoy ourselves, enjoy it with the audience. And that's another reason I wanted to do comedy as well, because like I absolutely love like watching comedy, and it's just so much fun as well. And I think that's the thing, that's why it's important, because when else do we get to see random stuff that we can relate to, in terms of like Sorrow, for example, mentioned on the rep stage, on the rep stage and the Hippodrome stage, mentioned on the stages of Birmingham. We never get to see that unless it's a very special project that got set up that's been 6 months in development.
Yeah.
Which I think there's another thing why I definitely want to set it up as well, because we as taxpayers are paying into the arts, but it needs to be, they need to put on shows that are that's going to serve the audience. So Birmingham, Birmingham is a very diverse city, so the theatres should be looking at there thinking, wait a minute, we want some stories from a South Asian backgrounds, but they shouldn't just give us something which is like, oh, here's one South Asian play a year. They should say, wait a minute, even within the South Asian community,
not the token thing. Yeah,
exactly. And there's so many different cultures there as well. Like an experience of a British Indian Sikh person is going to be different from a British Bengali Muslim person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Both very different
things within our cultures, and it's that thing where like look at India, for example. Like everyone knows, look how massively diverse in terms of language, cultures that is. You know
Hollywood.
what I mean? Exactly. Yeah. You even go to like the states of the Punjab, and one side of Punjab is a bit similar but a bit different from another side of Punjab.
Yeah.
Everyone's got
one second. Where are you from, man?
So from I think it's Nakodar in it. So some small pens in Nakodar in it.
So you Doaba, Malwa, or what's the other one? Moga. There's only 3 regions. Are you Jalandhar side?
Yeah, I think so. I'm thinking where's Nakodar, man? I got no idea. I'm from Nakodar.
What is the liquid you pour into cereal? The white liquid, what's it called in Punjabi?
Dod.
Okay. Where do Sikhs pray?
In a Gurdwara.
Okay, Tika, I was checking your pronunciation. It was soft. It's fine. You didn't do the whole dad and Gurdwara. You didn't do the the hardcore. Sorry, you're cool.
The hardcore stuff.
That's amazing. That's an amazing ability to have, man. Just imagine you going around asking everyone what you pour in your cereal.
And say in Punjabi.
That's the only way you can figure out. That's amazing. But no, you're absolutely right. So I think that's why it was that's the important thing about it. And I think it's amazing like how audiences like audiences just came up and just like supporting us as well. Like what I said is like it was quite a bit like a thing of like trying to sell it to people, like, look, this is improv comedy. And it was kind of like when we explained it to them that, look, this is completely made up on the spot, things can go wrong. A lot of the audience members like, yeah, we want to go and watch it because
there's a margin for error, there's an element of surprise. Yeah,
exactly. That's it, man. So I think a lot of people either want to watch it and it's going to be something amazing and beautiful, or they want to watch it and it's going to be a car crash.
But they're still having fun, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that place any as a company the play that goes wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which obviously it's not
I've seen
improv
it.
because it's scripted, isn't it?
It's good. It is scripted, but it's still good
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they
But it is
sell
it is
like
funny.
everything's going wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. It is funny. It's
And-
clearly not improv, but yeah.
No, I think they might have bits. I haven't seen it myself, but it's been one of the things. I think they got some shows coming to Birmingham as well. But it's one of those kind of things that the idea as well with improv as well was to first of all be a stepping stone for people to come in, exercise their improvisation skills, hopefully inspire people to write stuff as well. Hopefully inspire people to just try other forms of comedy as well. And the idea was that that's another thing as well. There was no space that we could just come and just do that as well. So I looked at like people from old, like you have like the Monty Python group. Them guys had a space where they could go in, do a bit of comedy, and realize that okay, this is my style of comedy, and this is where I want to go.
Yeah.
And I think that's that was kind of the thing that I wanted to have here as well, was a space where black and brown people come together, cultivate. It's quite a melting pot of ideas. People just go up as well. I think another thing that I really enjoyed as well was, you ever guys watch that show called The Impractical Jokers?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Love it.
So it's the US one with like Sal and Joe and, well, not Joe anymore, but
Yeah. It used to be the four guys together. Yeah.
And that was another inspiring thing as well. And like just seeing how those guys were basically, and the thing I loved about those guys was that they were doing improv, but they were doing it in a prank setting, and it was, the comedy wasn't them guys taking the mick out of other people. The comedy was them guys being self-deprecating.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And I think that was very interesting for me as well to watch and just see that. And I think that was the main things behind like this, man. Like in terms of Jump Prov, was having an idea, a simple idea with lots of energy, and just making like when you realize that you got the combination of a simple idea, loads of energy, you can get stuff done. And recently as well, like we've been hitting shows at the Hippodrome as well, and it's been great. Like the audience, feedback and people coming out to support us like yourselves as well. It's been great, and I think we are always trying to push ourselves as well, trying to create some interesting, different things for people to watch, for people to enjoy. But no, it's been good, man.